What's up, guys? My name is Zbricks, and welcome to the Zbricks Show Season 2. The Zbricks Show is a show where I interview different members of the online LEGO community, whether it's through YouTube or Instagram. And today I'm talking to Sans Gutter Chicken, who's here on Google Hangouts. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your YouTube channel?
Hi, I'm Sans. I do have a YouTube channel. Thank you for noticing. I try to make people laugh, although that doesn't always happen, but that is the overall goal. Whether or not the videos are make any sense or not, that's up to you to decide, and I guess that's all I have to say about that.
Thank you. And his YouTube channel and his Instagram are both linked down in the description, so go check them out. There are only 2 links in the description at all, so you can't miss them. They're blue, for those of you that don't know. And yeah, so that's that. Let's start up with some easy starter questions. So when did you start building Lego?
I'm not quite sure. My mom told me when I was young, 2 or 3, I would steal Lego out of my older brother's room. So before memory started kicking in, the earliest I can remember is just having a bin of Lego in my own room. But I couldn't tell you. 5 maybe the earliest I could remember.
Huh. Interesting. What were some of your first sets, or do you remember those?
So like I said, I did have a bin of just a bunch of random sorted parts from late 70s up to the early 90s, and I can't remember what the first set was gifted to me, but the first set I can remember buying for myself was the original Star Wars battle packs, the clone and versus Separatist droids.
Awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, I didn't start out with any sets either. I had a hand-me-down bin from a neighbor across the street. Their kids didn't want them anymore, so I got just like a Tupperware bin that had Lego in it. So that's what I started out with, and then from there I got like I believe it's a 2008 police helicopter. And my first set I bought for myself was the Power Miners Granite Grinder, which is a really great set. I rebuilt it some time ago, but that was my, I think those were my first 2 sets that I can remember having. But that's awesome. So, when did you start your YouTube channel, and who what inspired you to do it?
I've been watching YouTube unhelpfully for quite some time. I don't know. I mean, it's been around for most of my life anyways. So I made the channel in 2013 trying to upload something. Thankfully, I was too embarrassed to upload whatever garbage I produced and kept it to myself and deleted it so no one would see the true horrors I had to offer. 2018, late sometime in 2018 is when I uploaded my first video, and it was a mix of a lot of channels because I was seeing people do or make videos, and I thought I could do it. I don't know if I didn't know if I could do it better than them, but I saw people talking about some of the most ridiculous things and making money for it and having fun, and I thought, oh, if they can do it, so can I, and that's about it. But some of the channels I was watching when I actually did it was probably Star Wars Explained, and then I didn't watch a lot of Lego YouTube videos for quite some time. I just kind of got bored of watching reviews. I did start watching some of the minifigure collection sets of Brick Vault. I wouldn't say they're a huge influence, but just a lot of different channels over the years.
That's awesome. Yeah, I didn't really watch much YouTube when I was younger, even though it was out. I think that I have vivid memories of the first time I watched YouTube, which it's interesting. Basically, a neighbor invited me over to their house to show me this awesome video they found on YouTube that was called The Duck Song, that you may know about.
I don't know if I do know about The Duck Song.
Oh, The Duck Song. It's basically a duck goes up to a lemonade stand and asks if they have any grapes. Have you ever seen that one?
I cannot say I indulged in the Duck Song video.
Oh, man. The Duck Song, it was really popular back in the day, and it's kind of made a meme resurgence not too long ago, although it wasn't, like, mainstream or anything, from what I know. But that was what I watched first, and then I went probably years without watching any YouTube, and I think the first time that I really went back and watched a YouTube video was the Force Awakens trailer. Was the first video I remember going back and watching. So I,
young blood then.
I think that was like the first time that I really, really watched YouTube on my own. But
I can't really recall. Like I said, it's been around the majority of my life, so I really don't know what I watched or when I watched it. I just knew it had better options than the 7 channels with the antenna and more cartoon options in Saturday morning.
Yeah. So, anyways, let's get back to the Lego subject. So what are your favorite themes right now?
Wow, well, Star Wars has always been a consistent keystone of whatever I bought. I don't get them all, despite my trying. Other than that, not usually I just pick up whatever interests me, 1 or 2 sets from different themes. It seems right now I just find whatever's on sale that isn't Star Wars and buy that. So other than Star Wars, not really any theme that has my interest. Although Monkey Kid is exciting, it is a bit of a high bar of entry with the prices.
Yeah. I can see a lot of people buying a lot of Monkey Kid when it goes on sale, me included. I personally do not have the budget to go out and buy the Monkey Kid set I want, which is the Demon Bull King. But once it goes on sale, maybe 25 or 50% on Amazon, if they're on there, or anything like that, then I'll definitely end up picking it up. But you say that there's not a lot of themes right now that interest you other than Star Wars, but have there been any themes in the past that have really interested you?
Yeah, well, just like I do now, have picked up a few sets from the majority of themes since I've been getting Lego for myself or people getting it for me. Most of it has been Star Wars, but there's always been the odd city set here and there, some superhero sets, whatever one-off theme, like, well, not one-off, Bionicle is a bit longer than that, but a few Bionicle sets, Lannis, whatever space was out at the time, so different, whatever themes were out, I would try to get some of them. I would be excited for them all, however, the wages of being a jobless 12-year-old were lackluster.
Yeah, I can definitely get you there. I mean, like, I haven't built with Lego, but since, like, I don't know, 2007 or 8, and for a majority of that time, I have not had a paying job. Right now, I don't even have a summer job because nowhere is hiring. So, like, budget is tight for me, but, like, I really want to go back and collect a lot of the sets from themes from, like, Power Miners, Atlantis, stuff I loved looking at on shelves but could never really get. So those are some of my favorite themes, but, and Ninjago too. Like, when I was, in 2011, 2012, when all those sets came out, it was really just what I got for my birthday and what I got for Christmas. There was no allowance, there was no getting paid to mow the lawn, getting paid to do chores and stuff. It was just those 2 holidays, I got like a set or 2. So I ended up like with a few sets, but Ninjago's always been my favorite, and I think that going back and collecting them now is really, really an awesome thing to do.
I agree, but with time comes a heftier price tag.
Yes,
going
definitely.
Back and getting some of the old stuff. So usually, if I'm going back to buy anything, it's just a figure from here or there that I missed out on that I wanted when I was younger. Not necessarily the whole set.
Yes, definitely. And especially with themes like Star Wars, which you said you absolutely love. I mean, I think the Star Wars sets, if I were to like pull up a graph or something of the sets that increase in price the most over time, I think Star Wars would definitely be one of them.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. The inflation on that is a fun thing to gawk at.
I mean, you've got some sets out there, like, I was, just out of curiosity, going and looking at the Executor the other day, the Superstar Destroyer on Bricklink. Yeah. I was, like, just wondering what it would go for now, because it's always been my favorite Star Wars set. And, jeez, the prices on these sets for sealed, even for used and missing parts, are insane. Like, I don't understand how anyone would pay this for this set.
I mean, what else are you going to buy? Food?
Yeah. I mean, there's not a lot else other than Lego.
For some people, it does seem that way.
Yeah. So, as far as the Star Wars sets go, do you think over time they've gotten worse, or maybe they've gotten better since you've collected them for a while?
Oh, no, I mean, there are those out there with anything, not even in regards to Lego, that say the old things are better and nostalgia blinds them. But no, most certainly, Lego especially has adapted quite well with each year, and each new wave is not necessarily better than the last in every conceivable option, but it is most certainly progressing.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I think adapting is a very good word to use. I've seen a lot of people say it gets worse or it gets better, but I think that I hadn't really thought of using the word adapting before, or changing, I guess. I think it's because, I mean, some parts, obviously, it's like with going back and looking at the old sets. If you have nostalgia for old things, you may say this is better because it was like this. But then you go and look at it now, you see the new parts they're using, perhaps. Maybe even that they're more expensive now. But then again, maybe that's just because back in the older days, maybe things were more or less expensive, and they looked differently because they used different parts back then. So, but I think Lego is doing the best they can with what they have.
To a certain extent, I agree with that.
Yeah. I think that, like, it's a good example of me and Ninjago. It's like, I personally don't love all of the new stuff, even though a lot of people do that aren't really Ninjago fans. Like, I'm sure a lot of people look at the new wave and they say, oh, that's a really great set. But me personally, I can look at them and say, you know, based on the sets I own from 2012, 2013, I don't like them. But then again, that's really just me being biased. So, on your YouTube channel, you don't do the same kind of Lego content that a lot of other reviewers do. Like most people, like Jang or these build channels, they all kind of do the same stuff. It's just monotonous. They build sets and they review them and tell you what's good or bad about them. But on your channel, you have a lot of variety and stuff. So, since you have so much variety, is it easier or harder to come up with like video ideas?
For me personally, I wouldn't say it's difficult to come up with ideas. Usually I'll just start something and run with it. It's more of the execution. I have, 2 or 3 notebooks, not filled out, of course, because I just can't keep my thoughts collected in one centralized area. I do write down a ton of notes for videos, and then if it depends if I am willing to spring on it that day or not, and I'm just slow to getting around to things and producing something to its finished, or to the finish point.
So you're saying, like, you have a hard time just sitting down and then actually carrying out the process of making the video.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a lack of motivation or laziness. I really don't know, because I do genuinely really, really enjoy making videos, but it's probably more up to laziness of finishing it than anything else, and I don't know why that is. For something, or it is something I enjoy doing considerably. It's just, for whatever reason, it's mostly I'll record a video and then I'll sit on it for 2 or 3 weeks before I actually edit it, and then I take 2 or 3 additional weeks to edit it all the way through.
Yeah, I see that. I mean, like, I have a worse consistency in uploading videos than you, so I totally understand what it's like to not have, like, the, or to kind of be, as you say, lazy. I've gone months at a time without even thinking about making a video, and I remember one time I went, like, for 2 summers in a row, I went, like, a whole summer without making a video. There's a whole school year or 2 I didn't make a video in. It's just, I mean, before probably the start of this summer, I hadn't uploaded many videos, I would say, in the past 2 years. It's just, it's not been consistent at all. That's why I'm trying to keep this podcast, like, every Saturday at the same time, to kind of get me to do a bunch of these and then have them release. I think it's nice to have consistency, but I don't think you necessarily have to with your content.
Well, if you're just doing it for fun, absolutely not. But if you are desperately trying to grow, consistency is one of the major things that'll help you grow. In the beginning, I was doing 2 videos every week without, well, for a few months I was doing that, and then if I had an extra one, I would upload a third one. But I kept doing that, and then I think it's December I uploaded a video every day to see how that would work, and it didn't really go over well, probably because the content wasn't up to snuff. But I would do that, and then at some point I did slow down, and it was during a summer when I wasn't home, and it's not that I had less access. That was probably just an excuse I gave myself. I just, for whatever reason, didn't do it as much. But when I got back, I did, for 4 months, upload 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, and then I just slowed down more and more. I'm not sure why I did that, but when I was doing it every day, it definitely was motivation to crank out whatever crappy thing I could think of. Although I'm not super proud of most of videos or things I do in general. The end products I'm not always proud of. I just have high standards with myself, but taking more time to do them, I am happier with them as I'm going through. I'm not happy about it thinking back on them, but it did definitely help if I had a set date to push myself to do. When I just leave it open-ended like I have, and same situation you're in, 2-3 weeks to 3 or 4 months without anything, not necessarily the greatest track record.
Yeah, I totally get that. I mean, like, I really understand what you're saying, because I think it really does. I mean, when you go through that and you upload all these videos and you gain a consistent schedule, not only do you please your audience, especially if your videos are good, but then if your videos are good, one, you can be proud of yourself, but either way, you can be proud of the fact that you've had a consistent schedule and you've gotten down this what's it called? A habit of consistency, which is really good to have.
I definitely was. No, I wasn't happy with the videos, although maybe because I would record for a half an hour or something of me building a set or whatever it was when I was doing it daily for that time period. I wasn't happy necessarily with the videos. I would cut it down like 30 minutes to an hour to 4 or 5 minutes with whatever I thought was worthy of being shown, without any additional things, just simple cuts. And then I was just happy that I was able to upload it.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's not like YouTube has the highest standards for to get viewers reined in. But for myself, it wasn't something I was super thrilled about.
Yeah. The way I've always seen it with me making my videos is, if I enjoy doing it, I think that for the most part it'll please an audience, because I think that if I enjoy something and I record it, I think that I'm more enthusiastic, and I have I think that it's just it's more appealing to a viewer to see something that I'm enthusiastic about than something that I really just don't care about.
The enthusiasm for me was coming from making the video and then making it about Lego, which is something I really enjoy. It's just, like I said, I'm very hard on myself. Even the videos that I do spend longer on, my more recent ones, I still can watch it and say, oh, I should have added 2 additional words there, and that would have made the joke way better, or cut that a little bit differently. Or, previously, a few minutes ago, I said I watch a lot of YouTube at an unhealthy rate, and I do take in a lot of... I absorb quite a bit of what I see, and I repackage that my own way, but then I see myself, oh, I can definitely tell what I was watching at that time period because I did that because of that person, and then I feel like I'm copying and I'm not being... So there's always something that I am not happy about.
Yeah. I mean, like, when it comes to reusing humor, I personally think that maybe at first on YouTube, it was a little bit of a taboo thing to do because everyone knew that you just copied that person. But at this point, it's gotten so common, and everyone just does the exact same things that someone else does. I think that I personally, if I see a joke somewhere and I repurpose it and make it into my own thing, like I did a Lego quote-unquote 3 a.m. challenge probably about a year ago, and I think that apparently a lot of people disliked it. I think it's because they actually thought it was going to be at 3 a.m. when it was in broad daylight. But I think that whether you copy content or not, I think that you can make it into good content and people will still enjoy it.
Right. No, I definitely agree with that. It's not jokes that I steal or borrow or take or however you want to word it. I don't do that. The few times I have, I usually cut it out while editing because I feel guilty about it, or I just scrap it all together before I even get around to recording it. The things I usually emulate are more of video styles. So,
I see what you mean, like editing.
No, not even editing. Framing of a video or an idea. So over a year at least, there was a video that I edited, like game theory / film theory.
Oh, okay.
So I edited in that style, or I did another video where it was, I was copying almost to a T how a Nakey Jakey does videos, and I know I'm doing that with the Nakey Jakey video. I was doing that to see if I could do it myself, if I could do the same style and format, but I'm not happy because it's not what I'm doing, but I'm constantly watching YouTube or whatever it is I'm doing and taking that all in, and it's hard not to repurpose and repackage it. And sometimes people pick up on it, other times they don't, but when they don't, that makes me feel even worse about the fact that I did use it. And I agree with you that people can reuse ideas, and often they reuse them, or not often, but there are those that reuse and build off of what they did. And I don't know if I would say I'm doing that or not, but it improves not only their own videos but the website overall.
Yeah, I see that. I think that it is really important to put out completely original content, and I think that when you do see super original stuff, it really does catch your eye more than the stuff that you see is reused. So I think it's definitely cool, but it is a lot more difficult to do that, so I can see why people don't.
Right, but it's also easier. I mean, not to get too cynical, but there are a lot of people on YouTube doing it to get money from it. I mean, why else would you have so many reaction channels and things along those lines?
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many of these reaction channels, these DIY channels, the like the 5-minute craft stuff.
Yeah.
That stuff is crazy. It's like, it's hard to believe that these channels, like, I mean, the 5-minute crafts, they get like 50 million views a video, and it's like it's completely copied content.
No, I agree. I mean, and then there are those that do it well. I mean, there are reaction channels that are genuinely enjoyable to view, or craft channels that actually offer something with substance, but for the most part, it's just easy, clickable, simple 10-minute videos to waste the day away.
Yeah, especially in these times where there's not a lot to be doing.
No, definitely.
Yeah, I've been watching quite a bit of YouTube, and it's probably gotten to the point where I'm so tired of watching YouTube. It's like the point where I just need to set this down, go do like the summer reading for school, and get the project done. But it's like, it's kind of addicting.
Definitely addicting.
Oh, yeah. Especially if you just come across a channel, you watch one of their videos and you really like it, and you just like, oh, here's another video they made that I want to go watch. And then you just watch all of them.
Yeah, 3 days later, you've gone through 5 years of backlog, and you don't even know what day it is or why you smell so bad.
On your newer YouTube videos, I've seen a lot of editing put into them. About how long do most of those videos take to record and then edit if you're not putting off editing it?
That's a good caveat. I could have just said, it takes me 6 months to edit a video. No, each one's different, how much I put into it, and usually what I do is record whatever the main focus is of the video, and then I will add in while editing it, I'll go record whatever section is needed, whatever little clip, or I'll take whatever I need from the internet and download it and add it in. So, the last one, with taking out breaks, conservatively, probably took me 20-ish hours to get all the way through.
Wow. All that for a video that's probably like 10 minutes?
Less than.
Wow. That's awesome. I mean, I don't know how much time I put into making each of my videos. I mean, for these podcast episodes, I record it. If it's usually like median of like 30 minutes. Then I go into my tablet's editing software, and I just click whatever I want to crop the certain clips to. I just edit that together, and I just sit here and watch YouTube while it edits itself. So, I mean, in reality, me doing work, actually, like, post-editing things, it probably takes, like, 10 minutes, because the rest of the time I'm just watching a video or something. So, I mean, that's a lot of dedication for a YouTube video, and that's really awesome.
Oh, well, thank you. I don't know if I would say it's a lot, but it's something.
I think it's certainly more than most people do. I mean, you look at the bigger YouTubers out there who are putting out a video daily so they can get all this money from their viewers. But, I mean, like, if you think about it logistically, if they're putting a video out every single day, how much editing time do they have available in that day to put into that video? I mean,
I don't know. I know it varies case by case. Some people, depending on their size, have editors to help speed along the process, but it is still a consuming effort.
Yeah. I mean, if you had someone that self-edits, or even for an editor who's editing someone else's stuff, I mean, I'm guessing just on median, it's probably at least less than 10 hours a day, if they're doing it daily. I mean, especially all these people that are just sitting at a desk and recording a video. Like, you've got these gamers out there, these React channels. You've got PewDiePie, who's arguably the biggest YouTuber on the platform.
Well, I mean, biggest single YouTuber, yes. Not biggest channel, but yeah.
I don't count T-Series.
Well, I mean, they do objectively have the biggest channel.
Yes, they do in terms of numbers, but if you were to count every person at T-Series and then do the math of how many subscribers each of them would have, and considering the person who uploads the content isn't even the one who's editing or making the content, it's just a corporate guy. Like you were saying earlier with consistency and being proud of your videos, I think that personally, despite subscriber counts, there's a reason that people like PewDiePie or even these other big YouTubers with tens of millions of subscribers have that amount of subscribers, and it's because they make good content. They're consistent, and they have been. And T-Series is a corporate business. It's something that you have all these different people making all these different music videos, all these different movie trailers for Bollywood, and then someone at an office desk just gets them emailed to him and puts them up on YouTube. So it's really not, I don't think, comparable to 99% of YouTube creators, if you would even call them creators. So,
no, I definitely agree. The corporate side of YouTube is not necessarily my favorite aspect. I would be considered a biased opinion in that, however, since I'm not in the corporate YouTube world. No, you're absolutely right. I would prefer that it was more so for not those in Hollywood or those running businesses, but not my platform to make the decisions on.
Yeah. I think that there really is a big divide in YouTube, and that's for business and for creators. And I think that the main line that can be drawn in the sand between them is that one of them is doing it for a job, and the other one is doing it to promote something that is their job. So one of them is more important than the other in one sense. One is just an advertising campaign. I mean, YouTube is a free I mean, if you want to put movie trailers up for something, it's free advertising. Plus, you can make money off those trailers that you put up if you have ads on them. It's advertisement you get paid for in a way, compared to a creator.
That is a very good point, but I don't know for everyone on YouTube if those two worlds are so different from the big corporate tanks at this point. And
oh, yeah.
YouTuber, there are those on here, many of those that are doing it for monetary reasons, which to each their own, but they're not too far off. One just has more resources than another.
Yeah. I think that it's I think that was one of the really cool aspects of the T-Series versus PewDiePie campaign was the fact that this whole entire, what's basically just an entire country the size of a continent of people subscribing to this channel, and then you had all these people supporting a creator that they know is truly a single creator compared to a gigantic tank of a business. And it was really cool to see all these people come together and support the creators that they know are making good content. So
you are correct there. I mean, it was an interesting time to see so many rally together behind one force.
So anyways, guys, thank you so much for coming and watching this new episode of the Zbricks Show. I do not know if there will be an episode next week. What's basically happening is I'm recording this about 2 weeks in advance because I'm going on a really long trip where I will not have service. These will be set to premiere, so you will see these on my YouTube channel well in advance before they ever record, or well before they release, I mean. And I don't know if I will have one ready by the time next Saturday comes from when you see this. So if I do, then that'll be awesome. If not, you'll just have to wait 2 Saturdays from now. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and thank you to Sans for coming on the show. His YouTube and Instagram are linked in the description below. I'll cut that out. So have a great day, have a wonderful week, and I'll see y'all next time. Zbricks out.
Okay.